So I got to tell you guys a secret. For the last 18 months, I was a senior developer on the Quake project. Quake was just released at QuakeCon 2021, and I was involved in the project. And I got to say, I'm really proud of the team at Night Dive, the team at id Software, Bethesda, and Machine Games for all making this possible. Now, this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a long, long time, but of course, due to NDAs and stuff like that, it's something that is not possible to do. And in game development, a lot of people know once you're under NDA, then you really can't say anything until that NDA has expired or that NDA period has lapsed. Thankfully, that day is today. Now, Quake first released in 1996, and it's the 25th anniversary of Quake. And I gotta say, I've been following Twitter over the last 18 months, and every so often someone will tweet, God, I wish Quake would come back. I wish, we would see Quake come to modern systems. And I've just had to kind of bite my tongue for all that time. And I kind of share the tweets around with some of the other teammates at Night Dive, and we just have a bit of a chuckle and continue to do our work. For those wondering about my involvement in the project, as mentioned, I'm a senior developer on the Kex Engine team and focused mainly on the console versions and predominantly the PlayStation version. But I also jumped in and helped out as needed with the Xbox and Nintendo Switch builds. By itself, it's a pretty big project. And that's even before we shipped 4 versions on day one. This was a big project that took a lot of effort, and a huge thanks to all the teams that were involved. This particular game is one of the reasons why I wanted to get into games development, and one of the interesting tales that I tell is that back in 2003, when I was working on the original Xbox in a homebrew capacity, I actually ported Quake to the OG Xbox, and I called it Quake X. And that particular version I was very proud of as well, because it also had the Quake World stuff integrated into that code, and you could get a really good multiplayer experience on the OG Xbox. And just to be able to kind of come full circle, so many years later and work with id Software and with Bethesda in a official capacity is just a dream come true. And it really does make me very, very happy. Now, for those people that have never played Quake, I suggest you jump in and take a look. It is a really great single player experience, and there's also a fantastic multiplayer experience. The great news about this release is that not only are you getting the single player campaign, but it also comes included with the 2 mission packs that were developed, the official mission packs, as well as Machine Games' Dimension of the Past, which was an add-on that they released for the 20th anniversary of Quake, and now exclusively for QuakeCon and this particular release, Dimensions of the Machine, which was developed by Machine Games once again, celebrating the 25th anniversary of Quake. And these campaigns are excellent, and I got to give a huge thanks to the team at Machine Games for this. I've been non-stop playing Dimensions of the Machine during the development of Quake, and I absolutely love it, and I think you guys will as well. Now, if you're not a huge fan of the single player side, there's also the multiplayer side, and this is where Quake really came into its own and kind of defined the arena shooter genre, which is starting to get a bit of a resurgence in this day and age. And I think it's really cool that people can jump in and experience Quake for the first time, or if you did play it back in the day on PC, it will be very, very familiar to you. Now, some of the really cool features we're offering in this release is crossplay. So no matter which version of Quake that you're playing, you can connect to others on different platforms. So there's a full crossplay layer involved. We're using Microsoft PlayFab or Azure PlayFab for the multiplayer, and it's excellent. We've done a lot of play testing, a lot of multiplayer testing over many, many months to really dial in that multiplayer experience. There is some brand new prediction code that has been implemented, which is exceptional. And there's also bots. If you just want to play with bots, you can do so. There's some great bot AI that's been implemented into the game as well. by id Software. So really, the multiplayer experience you're going to absolutely love. If you've never experienced rocket jumping or quad damage or telefrags, it's all going to be there and you're going to love it. Now, a multiplayer arena shooter in 2021 like Quake, it does have its limitations and it is a little dated, but one of the great things about Quake is it's kind of timeless in another way. It's just so much fun to play and it just feels really, really good, and I think you guys will really appreciate it. As far as the console versions of the game, every version of Quake runs at 60 frames per second. Now, I believe on PC you can go even higher than that, 144 hertz and whatnot. Now, the versions on console are running at 60 frames per second. Now, that also includes the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox One VCR. Now, there are additional graphical settings that you can turn on. Now, when you start adjusting some of these settings, it may dip the frame rates, but on the PlayStation, the PS4 Pro, you can also run this game on backward compatibility mode on a PS5. You're going to get a great experience. Now, to talk about some of the tech, we've implemented a new shadowing system, and that was done by Sam Kaiser VREL, the lead Kex engine developer. And there's also been improvements to models as well, and both of these things are very, very subtle. They're not going to change kind of the playbook of Quake in any shape or form. Quake is still going to look very much the same as you remember it, but there are some slight enhancements that just really make it a great 2021 game. There's also things like rumble support on Xbox. There's HD rumble on Switch. There's gyro controls on PlayStation and Switch. And of course on PC, you get the ability to run at high frame rates above 60 FPS as well. And that will always be the kind of the best version of the game that you can experience. Before I forget, the game does indeed include the full Nine Inch Nails soundtrack, and I'm not really sure where that rumor came from that it wasn't going to be in the game, but I can absolutely confirm to you guys that it's all there. So if you are interested in taking a look at Quake, check it out for yourself on the platform of your choice and enjoy it, and let me know what you think about it. I definitely want to hear feedback in the comments below about your thoughts and opinions about the game. I'm very proud of this release. This has been in the works for a while, and we've put so much care and attention into this one, and I think it'll definitely resonate with a lot of fans of Quake, and hopefully new fans will really appreciate the work that's been done. But once again, before I kind of wrap up, I do want to give a huge thanks to Night Dive Studios, my team on the Kex engine. We worked our asses off. id Software, Bethesda, and Machine Games, really all for collaborating so well on this project. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work. It's been difficult at times. It's been stressful, but ultimately rewarding. And this is why we make video games, for this reason, to really put the smiles on a lot of people's faces out there, and myself. You know, I've been playing the hell out of this game, and I'll definitely be out there online playing multiplayer with some of you guys. So let me know your experiences and thoughts, and enjoy Quake. But for now, guys, we are going to leave it here for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, don't forget to put a like on it, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye for now.